All right, good afternoon, I guess evening, why is it showing up? Oh, there we go. Good afternoon, everyone, evening, whatever you call 4 o'clock. My name is Brandy. I am the director of EOF, so welcome, very excited to have you guys here. I know this is a very busy time in the semester, so I appreciate you guys taking the time to come out, learn more about EOF before you start this process. And just so I know I asked you guys as you came in the room, but because we have other staff here, can you just quickly go around, introduce yourself and say if you're a first-year student or a transfer student this year? So we'll start here.
My name is Karina Tavares, and I'm a first-year student. Hi, my name is Alani Kabla, and I'm a first-year student. Wonderful. Hi, my name is Safa, transfer student.
My name is Dante Hatcher, and I'm a first year student.
Wonderful, awesome, welcome, welcome. And so, sorry. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit, we're a little bit behind schedule, it's totally cool, I'm not going to take that much time to talk, but I always like to give a layout of what you should expect when you're in these spaces. And so really the point of today is for you guys to learn about what EOF is. You applied for this program, right? You're interested in being here, want to learn more, you want to get supported here on campus. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what our program is, what you can expect over the next few weeks as you do the application process. We're going to break out and talk a little bit about the process as a first-year student, as a transfer student, more so like the process of, well, I mean, you guys are going through it right now, right? It's October, you've been transitioning through this first year here, whether you're here and you've been at another institution or this is your first time in college. This is new, right? Rutgers Camden is new. The expectations of you here are new. And so we want to make sure we talk about that and kind of get feedback from you about what that's like. Then we're going to have a little bit of a break. We're going to have someone here from financial aid and talk about the verification process. And so as a new student for EOF, we have to verify your income for the program. And so we're going to have somebody here who's going to answer the questions about that process. She's going to be the contact person when you're doing verification. She'll talk. So if you have questions about documents you have to submit or how do you put things in your financial aid portal, she's going to be that person. So there will be somebody here. So if you have questions, please ask them, right? You're going to have someone live in front of you to help you with financial aid stuff. So it's wonderful. Then we're going to do some just kind of like getting to know you and each other a little bit, and then we're going to be done. It's a little less than 2 hours. You'll be out of here before 6. The point is that I want you to walk away feeling like you understand what this program is. You're like, I know what I'm signing up for. This is what I want to do. And you also understand, more importantly, the verification process, which all new students go through. That can be a very challenging process for students. So I just want to make sure you understand it and you feel comfortable and you know who to ask for help, more importantly, if you're struggling. But before I go into, you're good. Before I do want to make sure I introduce other people in the room, right? So I already introduced myself. I'm the director of this program. Hi, come on in. And so I want to make sure I go around and have everyone else introduce themselves.
Oh, sorry. My name is Sarah Rubright. I am one of the EOF counselors here. I have been here in this program for like almost 5 years now. And previous to that, I worked still in Rutgers in the Student Success Coach office. So all in all, I'm very excited to always help students in their career journey. Thanks for working with y'all.
Hi everyone, I'm Matt West. I actually started here about a month ago. So new to the team, I am the assistant director or program manager of EOF. I was an EOP student in New York and worked in EOF and EOP programs pretty much since I was in undergrad through grad school, and now I'm here full time and excited to be here and do all of that. What?
Hi everyone, I'm Carolina Waters. I've been here 30 plus years. So I'm like, I want to say the time I've been here. And so I've been working with EOF students. I was an EOF student on this campus many years ago. So I look forward to working with each of you. Welcome to campus.
Hi, my name is Harvey Bells. I'm from Camden. EOF counselor. I started a month ago. Back EOF Vermont, Rutgers, Brunswick. So just excited to be here since.
Awesome. And we have somebody new popped in the room, so I'm going to put you on the spot. Do you mind introducing yourself and telling me if you're a first-year student or a transfer student?
I'm a transfer student.
Okay, so I'm gonna just give a quick background of what EOF is. How many people have like heard of EOF before this exact moment? Okay. I'm still gonna give like a quick overview about what the program is, right? And so what you're signing up for if you're looking to be in this program. And so we are a New Jersey state funded program. So EOF is not exclusive to Rutgers, Camden. We are found throughout the state of New Jersey in different types of institutions. If you're a transfer student and you've had it at a community college, then you're familiar with that. But the purpose of our program is to provide support. That support looks a lot of different ways. I always say that we are a support program that offers financial aid. We're not a financial aid program. Our point of our program is not just to give you money. The point of the program is to give you this like comprehensive support, which also includes money, right? If you're signing up for this program, it's because you are like, I could really use some academic or personal support here, right? It could be one or the other, it could be both. Everyone is a little bit different. It's depending on you and your needs. But these wonderful people that you see next to me, that is their job, right? Their job is to support you and you individually as you're kind of working through this process of college. All of you are coming from different stages of life, right? Like some of you had college before, some of you, this is the first time you've ever been in a college. Some of you are working, some of you have caretakers, some of you have many other responsibilities outside of these institutional walls, right? And so college is anywhere from 4 to 6 years of your life. A lot happens in 4 to 6 years of your life. A lot of good, a lot of bad, and in between. And so what we're trying to, hi, welcome. What we're trying to do is help you navigate that process, right? The ups and downs, and make sure you're staying in college and doing what you need to be successful, right? And that success is going to look very different for each of you, depending on what your goals are. So you can go to okay. So I just want to talk about the benefits. I kind of just gave you a little bit of preview. But as I mentioned, if you're interested in EOF, hopefully you're interested in this program because you're like, I really could use some support and some financial aid would be cool too, but I really just want this, like, I need somebody I can talk to, right? College is a lot. I'm being asked to do a lot in addition to the many other things that you're probably doing outside of here. And so I really could use some guidance. I could really use someone who's going to help point me in the right direction. And so our lovely counselors that are here, that is what they're going to do, right? So they're going to help you figure out what your academic, personal, and career goals are, and make sure you are taking the steps here to be successful, right? College is more than getting a degree, right? So anyone here could walk out, as long as you stay committed to the process of college, you will walk out whatever many years from now, could be 4, could be 2, it could be 6, it could be any of those in between with a degree. But you want to be able to walk away and say, my college experience was this, and have a list of things to say about what you experienced, how you learned, and how you grew, right? Because when you go to apply to a job, when maybe you're interested in grad school, maybe there's a couple other things you want to explore if you leave here, you want to be able to speak to this experience, right? You don't want to say you went to class and went home. You don't want to say you went to class and went to work. You want to say like, yes, I went to class, I went to work, but I also found time to get an internship in. I found time to get involved in this way to help build my professional skills, to help figure out what do I want to do after I leave here, right? You don't want to leave here feeling like you wasted your time or that you don't know what you want to do the next step. It doesn't mean you have to have exactly figured out. It just means to feel like you want to leave here being like, I'm prepared no matter what I decide to do. Maybe you want to take time off. Maybe you want to go right into grad school. Maybe you're ready for that job. It's going to look different for all of you. The goal is that we're going to help you be prepared for those final steps and make the most of your experience here. We want to make sure that you're aware of all the resources that are available. As a student, one of the best things about being a college student is all this stuff is free, right? You have a career center that's like right down the hallway. That stuff is free. That will never be free again in your life. I can promise this to you. You will never be able to just say to somebody, can you review my resume without getting paid for it? Having career coaching, all of these things are usually very expensive and highly valuable, but they're free to you as a student, right? And you pay for them in your student fees. So these are the type of things that you want to make sure you're utilizing. There's a lot of personal and academic resources on campus, and we want to make sure you're utilizing them all so that when you leave, that you feel supported in every aspect. In addition to counseling, so you'd be meeting with your counselor one-on-one regularly. You'd also be doing workshops and programs. These workshops are really meant to help support you where you are, right? So every year we do different types of programming based on your class year. So as a first year student, we might be talking about specifically about transition into college, right? What that looks like, and how do you figure out what your purpose is here, and how do you build goals, and how do you act on those goals, right? Maybe when you get to your junior and senior year, we're looking at like, how are you gonna apply to grad school? What does your resume look like? Have you got an internship? You've never got an internship? Let's talk about how you get to an internship, right? So we're really like breaking down all of those steps, all those things you're hearing all the time about what you should be doing as a student. In our workshops, we're helping you break down how to do those things. That's a good way to describe it. In addition to that, what everyone is really excited about this program is that we offer money, right? And so everyone loves free money. Everyone needs free money. No one's going to say no to that. And so as long as you are financially eligible, which is what the financial verification process is, right, then you can receive a grant that'll go towards your tuition and fees each semester. That grant is going to vary depending on your living status. So if you're living here on campus, or say you're living in your own residence, you have an apartment or whatever, then it's $975 per semester. If you're commuting, so maybe you're living with a parent, a guardian, it's $850 per semester. That goes right towards your tuition and your fees, right? But that financial support isn't just limited to this semester grant, right? We try to do a lot of other things for students when we can. For example, we try to pay for summer classes for students when we can, winter courses, funding if you need testing, say you might have a learning disability, you want to get testing for it. We try to support with that. We've helped with things like graduate school testing, all different types of things when we can, right? So the support isn't always just limited to a semester grant. As an EOF student, you get a lot of opportunities that maybe other students aren't getting. And it's not just limited to what we offer you. We get people who send us things all the time that are specifically just for EOF students, right? And they always ask us to advertise and push it out to our students specifically. Scholarships, summer opportunities, jobs, all of these things. So you're part of this kind of exclusive community where there's a lot of resources offered to you. Okay, so now I want to talk about next steps, right? And so you're here at orientation. Some of you may have started this financial verification process. Some of you are going to start this process. Those who have not started it will be starting it sometime next week. The way this works is that I tell the financial aid office, these students are interested in being part of the program. We need to verify their income. And within a few days of that happening, you're going to get a notification in your email, and it's going to say you have documents in your financial aid portal that you need to submit. Those documents are what are going to tell them if you're eligible for EOF or not. Those are things like tax transcripts. They're forms often that you just fill out in the portal and submit it, right? It's going to look different for all of you. Everyone's financial situation is different, so not everyone is going to have the same requirements. So it's very important that you're paying attention to your portal, looking through and see what is being asked of you, right? Some of this stuff is really annoying and time consuming. So why I stress this a lot when I really push orientation and coming to these things is that it's a commitment. You are already committed to doing things outside of here, right? You're committed to classes, you're committed to maybe work or other extracurriculars, and finding the time to submit financial documents can feel like a lot. And so I want to really make sure you understand that's part of the process of becoming an EOF student. We're required, we're a state funded program, so we have to make sure that students that we give money to are actually financially eligible for the program, right? We are here to support you though for that. And that is why we have somebody from Financially coming here today, so you can see who this person is who does all of our financial verification, as well as you see us here before you today and know that if you have questions during this process, you should be reaching out and asking, right? And lastly, after you do the financial verification process, you're going to be assigned an EOF counselor. I will email you and say, great, you're done with financial verification, you're eligible. This is who your EOF counselor is. This is how you make appointments with them. In the interim, you can meet with one of our EOF counselors, Mrs. Waters over here. Unless you want to, Sarah.
But
Mrs. Waters specifically has made herself available to students who are going through this verification process and don't have an EOF counselor yet, but you might have questions about things, right? You're in classes, you're going through stuff right now. like midterms might be coming up for you, like a lot of things might be coming up in the next few weeks and you might be feeling stressed and you're like, I really need to talk to somebody, Ms. Waters will be here to support you during that process. And then once you are assigned a counselor, it might be Ms. Waters or it might be one of our 2 other lovely counselors here, and they will continue to support you as we work through. Okay. So we are offering, as I mentioned, I already talked about that Ms. Waters is available. I listed her times here. I'm also going to include her email on our last slide. So you can email her if you're like, I just have a quick question, or I need to know this. I'm overwhelmed or confused. We also have workshops, and I'm going to be inviting you to our Canvas page. Everyone has Canvas, right? Like you're all been working with Canvas with your other classes, right? I hate to add another Canvas page to your life, but we do have an EOF Canvas page. And that's where we put everything, right? All of the workshops that we offer, we put a lot of announcements on there. We put resources for students. And so as you're going through the next few months, we do offer workshops to help introduce you to Rutgers, right? So you're here, you might have done an orientation, you might have maybe gone to a couple of events on campus, but you never really got that kind of proper transition. You're just kind of thrown into classes, right? You're thrown into this academic world. And so we do have some workshops about to help introduce you to different resources on campus and what you should be expecting as a student, right? And then once you become an official EOF student, you're verified, you're good, then you do workshops every semester as part of your requirements. One thing I want to point out is that we don't ask a lot, right? And I love doing this math for people because it's people, and when I say this out loud, it sounds like a lot, right? I'm telling you, you're gonna have to be with your counselor constantly. You're gonna have to attend these workshops. Really, the math equates to about like 3 hours a month. That's it, right? Your meetings might be a half hour long with your counselor. I'm asking you to meet twice. Workshops are an hour. They might be once or twice a month. So at most 3 to 4 hours, right? It's not that long. And if you plan out ahead, it's super simple. Now, am I saying you're limited to 2 meetings a month with your counselor? No, you can meet with them every week if you need to meet with them every week. But we do ask in the beginning, you're at least meeting with them twice a month so you can get to know them. They can learn about you and your goals so that they can best support you as usual, right? Okay, so to wrap up, because I want to keep us moving along, here's about some key takeaways, right? That what we expect from you as part of EOF is this is a 2-way street, right? So I mentioned in the beginning, very purposefully, we are not a financial aid program. I don't give money to students for free without some work in between, right? You're here, you want support. The financial aid's a bonus. You're really here because you want personal and academic support. So in order for that to work, you have to be an active participant. You have to answer your emails when your counselor emails you. You have to be part of the process. You have to attend workshops. So I always like to be upfront with people before they apply to things that this is what you're signing up for, this is what you want, right? So you're going to expect to be semi-harassed by some of these individuals to be engaged, right? And that's only because they want you to get all the resources and support that they are offering. If you're not here, then you're not getting it, right? And we can only harass you so much. You don't have to answer your emails. You don't have to come to a meeting. You don't have to open your text. You don't have to do any of that. This is a choice. And so I always like to be upfront with people about what we ask for. Please communicate. Often, always, this is not just limited to EOF. Please reach out for help. We work here because we want to support students. So please make sure that you're communicating. Ask me a question if you have a question. Ask any one of these individuals a question. We're here to support you. And do your best. That is something I always like to tell any new student, that you do not have to have it figured out. You're not going to have it figured out until, well, I still don't have it figured out. So you're not going to have it figured out. It's a constant learning process. It's okay. No one expects you to get it, right? Like we exist, our jobs exist because students need help. And your life changes and things happen that throw you off track and everything doesn't go to plan. And so we want to make sure that we are supporting you through the ups and downs. And yeah, I think that's pretty much sums it up. Okay, and I did want to put some contact on there. That is my email at the top and my phone number. So you can always text me on that number if you need to ask a quick question. I also included Mr. West's email here, and he's going to be helping me with the financial verification process. So you will see both of our names a lot during the financial verification process. Please ask us questions. That is our job. We want to support you and make sure you get through this. I also put Mrs. Waters' email here in that interim while you're waiting to get an EOF counselor. Please ask her questions. Make sure you ask her if you have a question about anything. She has drop-in hours. You can just come in her office and have a meeting. That was very quick, but does anyone have questions? Yeah, okay, you might.